All right, like to welcome everybody back for what we think is the sixth in our series of Between Two Clutches, or in this case, a clutch and a go kart tire. But we'll get into that later. Today, we scoured up a good friend of ours. We've worked together for quite a while. Um, I dare I say, made us famous on a couple videos. We have the one and only Mission Flyer on the line. How's it going, man?
It's pretty good. The sun is shining. I'm here in the great sunshine state of Florida. Finally up to like 80 degrees today. And I just got my rebuilt Mantic clutch in the mail last night. So I was like, it would be great to be on between two clutches. We could kind of go over it. And we changed up a little bit with this as well. And I do have experience. This would be the fourth time I'm installing a Mantic clutch. I've taken mine out a few times, and when we were first was R&D and for the Hellcat, and then I have a couple of buddies who bought some, and I installed it for them here as well. They didn't go with the triple disc; they have the twin disc, but still the same thing. So
Yeah,
we're gonna Jeff. We I'm trying to get more power in the car, so we're trying something a little bit different. That's the great thing that I like about Mantic. You have a variety; it's just not cookie cutter off the shelf.
we do try to give you options. We do, but yeah, you're basically what we did there. We set you up with the same setup we've been running with Mr. Finnegan, who gave us some rants and raves on a previous Between Two Clutches. Which
Okay.
reminds me, we probably need to check back in with him. Maybe we'll get him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no. The first triple we sent out kind of hung in there, but I think just kind of judged on what we saw. Maybe swapping you up to the more rowdier end of the scale will help keep things kind of tamed down. So
Correct.
how are you planning on making?
Right now, I'm probably somewhere around 900, but I'm swapping over to ethanol 1R, which is like an E85 and a race gas blend. And I am also going to shoot nitrous. I'm not sure what shot I'm going to run at the nitrous yet. So I plan on getting safely at about 1,000 to 1050, because on the stock Hellcat engine, I think like 1,300 is the limitation of the engine on this in the stock variant.
Yeah.
So um, so that's why we kind of I asked you, I was like, Jeff, what do you think of, I wanted something a little bit more grippy. He was like, you will have this one. And I said, yeah, let's try it. What do they call them? I know they call cintured iron, I believe. What do you call them?
Yeah. So what we did there is in the industry, it's also sometimes known as the rowdy SOB. But yeah, the sintered iron is just it's a much more aggressive friction material. It's a solid hub disc and it's a solid plate disc. So sorry, cowboy, there's no cushion for pushing in that one. It's going to be right now. The party has already started. But the nice thing is,
Definitely.
very durable. Like I said, Mr. Finnegan's ran this. I run the same setup with all my drift customers who have had great success with it. It's one of those deals. It's the right tool for the job, and I think that's just kind of where we're at. I was going to say, prior, I believe 9 out of 10 dentists do recommend shooting up with nitrous. I think I read.
Definitely. So I said I have it here. I was gonna. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to add. This awesome tool that you sent me
Yeah,
that's made out of metal. I think it's a lot better than the plastic. Very
yeah.
durable. I like the feel and the weight of it.
So we just partnered up with a really nice company that's making these for us, and I've actually got to make I've got to make a specific one for the Dodge stuff, but I kind of cheated that one. It looks good, so I think it'll work out. But yeah, it's got a little more spline engagement with it being a steel tool. It fits in the discs better. Should line things up a little bit easier for you. So
Okay.
yeah, we're excited to have that and be able to offer that to our customers too.
Yes, and I'm excited to try this as well. With me was a little bit. It's a little bit of growing pain. That's why I sent it back. When I sent it back, it's like, how much teacher putting through this? And you kind of walked me through, and I kind of told you what I was doing, and we kind of figured out the error in my in my ways during the burnouts, just a
Little
little
bit,
bit.
My initial
But,
reaction was, oh, he's driven his car on the surface of the sun. But, no, we figured out a different path. But do you? I say I'm kind of familiar with your shop. Do you want to show us the actual car, or is that hidden? Like, I only show this much of my shop.
No. So what I'm gonna do, I'll show you the car. It's up on the lift, kind of like Jackson. It's my garage that I work out of, and I have the transmission right here. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what I've been working on as well. And I have the transmission out. I painted the bell housing. I was like, might as well get all fancy with it.
Might as well make it look good.
Definitely. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. And right now, as you guys can see, here's the car, and there's the Tremec 6060, and I have it on the lift. So it is running a full racing slicks on the back, and I have front runners. Right now, I have the seats out of it, and here's my toolbox. Of course, there's the clutch, all the new pieces, and my Barton shifter. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you did send me a new hydraulic release bearing as well with the special Mantic touch. And how you know you did it? You got your initials on it.
That's right. I can start signing the clutches.
So what do you do to these to make them so much better than just factory?
So in that little silver hex, there's a tiny blue, it looks like almost like a little X, and it's got a small orifice in the center of it. What that is there to do is, if you were just to take your foot off the clutch, it slows how quickly the fluid can get back into the reservoir. It does do something to help save the drivetrain, but it does so at the expense of the clutch. And with our
stuff, is that what they call a clutch delay valve?
Yeah, I mean, it really, it's more of a restriction, but what it does is essentially it does delay how quickly the clutch can engage. So like I said, it's kind of a cheap and easy fix the OEs will put in there to kind of help safeguard the drivetrain. But obviously, it slows things down from the performance side, and it also will burn up your clutch pretty quick too. So anytime you get one of our Hellcat kits or our Challenger kits, we take and we just drill the restriction out, pop it back together. Everything goes together just as it would. So now you've got a clear path through without the restriction. And I think it gives you more control over the clutch in general. Even if you did it to your factory with factory clutch in there, I think you'd still see the benefit.
Right. And with the clutch, I have to show you guys as well. Let me spin the transmission around. It does come with a spacer. Mm-hmm. You have a nicely aluminum machine spacer. Could you see it, right, guys? That goes right down there. It's still attached in there right now. So that's that spacer. So remember the first time we were experimenting with the size of the spacer. That's why I had taken out one time and take it out another time, because with the Hellcats, you was trying to get the right distance, because they're going to be different when you do the triple and the twin, correct?
Right. We send a taller spacer with the twins, and actually, there's so much room. There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there's so much room in there that we actually had another Hellcat customer we did a prototype quad disc for, and it all fit in there without any space or any issue whatsoever. So yeah, man.
There goes the race fuel. I got my seats out, and then of course the lift. So I plan on putting it back in this weekend. There's my little transmission jack that I have as well.
No, all good.
And then here is the big day of it all. So what I wanted to do while I have you on here, because I was gonna take it off, and I wanted you kind of explain the disc to me. That's a little bit different than what I had before.
Sure.
So I already have my little.
Nice. This is a man who's prepared for his bikini clutches.
Yes.
Unlike me, who just kicked everybody out of the shop for COVID reasons.
So,
away we go.
I saw I saw this right here with a little arrow. That's just for me to remember to line it up the right way.
Yeah. So
Uh-oh.
a lot of
I just
times,
dropped that. Good thing I'm not working on a ship.
what's that?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I said, good.
No,
I dropped the nut. I was like, good thing I'm not working on a ship. I'd have to jump in the water after it.
find its way to the bottom fast. And be sure to kind of take those off in a cross pattern too, a little bit at a time. Or you could take 4 of them off and then back the other 4 off too.
Yeah, so right now I'm just doing like a star pattern. So I did this across here, then across here, then across here, then I'll go across here, and then across. That way it releases everything kind of evenly.
Yep, bring the fingers up nice and even.
Of course, guys, these are the shipping ones. He did send me some new grade 8 bolts and washers to put on once I install it. These are just the shipping one if you're wondering if they're used. but this was mine I sent back, so of course it's gonna look a little worn. So here's the first piece off the top. And then of course he has the little arrow for the top, and then with the arrows that's lined up with the other ones for me. All right. Will you explain anything about the back to me for this? This is just where the fingers. What causes the fingers to go down when you tighten them?
So when you tighten down the clutch, you're actually loading up the diaphragm spring, and that's what gives it its tension and gives it the clamp load. So as you
is this it right here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a diaphragm spring.
Correct.
Oh.
Correct. So
I can't. I tried with my fingers. I can't move it.
You pretty strong fella, but that takes big thumbs.
All right, and then this is the next piece. I know this faces out, and this goes towards the front of the clutch. And what do you call this piece?
So that's the pressure ring right there. Basically delivers the clamp load from the cover to the discs in the clutch itself.
Okay, I got my fingerprints on here. So is brake clean okay to wipe this down? Brake clean is fine?
Yeah, brake clean's good. Lacquer thinner is good. Nail polish remover if you're really in a pinch, but
For real?
Yeah. I've done some strange things over the years. Strange things involving clutches as well, but nonetheless.
So first thing off the bat, what I see is this is completely different from what I had before. You want to kind of explain this to me? And it is SIF certified.
It is. Because like I said, these are definitely discs meant for a lot harsher application, kind of like what we saw on. So as you can see, it's a solid hub. There's no cushion in the disc whatsoever compared to this is what we had before.
Okay? Yes, that's what I had before. Yep.
Yeah. This actually is a Mustang one that we're rebuilding, but 601 doesn't. So yeah, that solid hub and that solid disc, it's just a lot stronger piece than what these are.
Oh yeah, it even feels it's a little bit heavier than that one too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I have that, and I always have to remember all the fingers has to line up when I put it back together.
And what we'll do is when we go to assemble it, test it, we may find that if we turn the cover 90 degrees, everything's a little happier and the finger is a little more even. So that's kind of how we'll line it up, and then we'll put the mark on it. That way, it always goes together the same way, which is a good thing.
Definitely. So I take this next one off, and you just remachine this on the lathe or with a machine.
Yeah, we actually use we've got some fixtures for a flywheel grinder, and we'll straighten those.
Okay.
We actually did another video. We did a Warren back clutch video where we kind of stepped through how we rebuild everything. And we'll straighten the plates with the arbor press, and then we've got a special fixture on a flywheel grinder, and we'll kiss all that off, get everything looking correct. And yeah.
Oh, awesome. So I have that. I'm just making sure I'm putting everything back down in the order how I take it out, so I'll remember how to put it back in reverse order.
Yep. And usually we'll take Sharpie and we'll mark on there flywheel side, pressure plate side, and try to make it a little easier.
Okay. And here's the other one. So what does this PP2? I see you wrote PP2 on here. What does that mean?
Oh, just pressure plate number 2, just the center disc. That's all.
Okay. Wow. This thing is beefy.
Pretty sturdy. It's a pretty sturdy disc.
And then this is number 2. Again, you wrote it on here.
Yep.
I make sure I have to clean it as I go, so that way I don't rub the numbers off.
Not that we don't. It's not that we don't trust you. We just want to make sure it all goes back together the same way.
All right. And then here's this one. Okay. Same. Are they all the same part number, or are they a little bit? Each is a little bit different.
All the same part number. At least they better.
Okay.
Look like a real orangutan in this video, but they should all be the same. Yeah.
And then there we are, but just down to the flywheel and the little pucks and everything that holds everything back in place.
Yep.
So I'm pretty excited to get this put in. So you know, clean it up, and then of course no need to put it back together now. I'll just put it in the car as I go.
Yeah, you'll just be stacking it back in there. So yeah, man, looks good. It looks good. What do you have lined up as your first event, or what are you trying to shoot for here for the season?
Okay, let me. So there's a I gotta come back around this way.
Nice.
All right, there you guys go. So I have one of the first event was gonna be March 2nd in Georgia, March 5th or 6th. I have to look, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make that one because I still need to take my car down to. I'm gonna actually take it down to VMP where you go and do the clutches, where you introduce me to those guys. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do the car, put the car on the dyno tune, and I'm gonna spray it for the first time there. So he's gonna load me with 2 tunes. I don't really trust myself to do the nitrous one. So
we all have our
they're gonna
strengths
do that.
in life, and I'm not a tuner either, so there you go.
So then I'm going to Dallas in April. I'm going to St. Louis in June, and then there's some more around the area. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enter the stick shift class, and go for those, and try the stick shift class with everybody else. I think I have the best parts as far as the transmission, and the clutch with you guys. So I think I'll be pretty competitive. And I just wanted to send for the refresh and for you guys to look at it because it's the beginning of the season, and I just want to be able to go and run all season. Not to say I'm not gonna have any problems, but try and be as problem free as possible.
Yeah, you should be all right. You definitely got a little more clutch capacity there than you're gonna make. Gives you plenty of room to grow, and like I've probably said in every video I've ever made, it's almost always use and abuse. It's rarely sheer guttural torque that just rips through it. We
correct.
I even mentioned the other day, and we sent it out on Facebook here this week. We had a C7 twin come back in, and it held something ridiculous like 1023 tires, something stupid, just way over what it should have done. And he was just like, "This was great. Let's rebuild it as a triple so I can go even more." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." so yeah, I mean, but again, he, that was a customer. He did a lot more roll racing. Even when they knew it only had a twin, so they loaded it up a little slower on the dyno to kind of get to bigger numbers. So it's, like I say, use and abuse kind of plays into it. So
yeah, and then the other thing that me and you had talked about as well, as far as when I was launching it and stuff like that, I did buy a 2-step. So I have a 2-step now, and all I gotta do is just hold the clutch down, and with the 2-step, all I gotta do is just let it go, set the RPM, and let it go. So I'm not riding the clutch out of the hole.
And that's a thing too. Those same discs, we got a couple different compounds of them. We would use that in an actual slipper clutch, and what that does is you can essentially adjust the clamp load, and you jump your foot off the pedal, and the clutch will actually slip a progressive amount to help keep traction. But the expense of that is you wear out the clutch very quickly. It's
I think that's how I was doing it before, but without the slipper. I was doing the slipper clutch stuff without the slipper clutch.
Using your own ACL to slip the clutch,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I plan on doing a lot of events this year. As much as possible that's open up. If it lets me, I'm gonna try and do at least an event like twice a month, and I'm gonna be traveling all around. So um, for sure, I know I got Texas, St. Louis, down South Florida, Georgia, and whatever else may pop up along the way. But in my mind, I believe I needed this clutch to be a little bit more competitive, especially against the Mustang guys because they're a little bit lighter. Because usually the Mustang guys win the stick shift shootout because they're about 1,000 pounds lighter than
Yeah,
my Challenger.
God knows I love these Hellcats, but man, they are heavy. It's a
Yeah,
it's a lot to get down the track. But the other thing too, you know, the Hellcats are making a lot of torque. They get you moving quick, but you start running out of lungs down the track. The Mustang,
right.
they take all their power up top, so they can kind of burp it out of the hole. And once they're rolling, then they just start making power, making power, making power. Kind of a little different approach, but I think you can hold your own for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if it's like the what's it called, the placebo effect, but in my mind, because I think I needed this clutch. Because I haven't asked you, you was like, "Are you sure? You think you?" I was like, "I need it." Once you told me about it, I need it. That's what's the
Yeah,
racer. Everybody,
and
everybody.
it worked in your favor too because, and a lot of folks will know this. We kind of hit the wall here at the beginning of February. We couldn't get parts in, and fortunately, like I said, we had the rowdy bastards there for you. So kind of
Yeah.
worked out. But yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't really drive my car on the street anyway. So I just go to the track and I trail it to the track. One more quick question I have for you. What is the break-in period, or is there any special break-in period with these cintured iron discs?
Well, the centered iron stuff it's a lot more aggressive, so it will bed in pretty quick.
Okay.
I like to if you can get at least 15, 20 kind of easy starts and stops on it, just kind of move it around a little bit, maybe let it
Okay.
seat up a little bit. It should be good to go because like I said, it's very aggressive. Now, you should still be able to drive it around. And I would recommend, if you can, putz around in it a little bit, kind of let everything kind of seat itself in a little. It will only
Okay.
help. But if the only way we're getting off the island is popping that clutch new and dragging the boat out of the water, well, I mean it'll do it. But whenever we
Right.
can ease into it, as a matter of fact, I think somebody in Blasphemy pulled their boat with my clutch, which I was not terribly impressed with. But kids today, I tell you. But speaking of kids, so yes, between two clutches and a Go Kart tire,
Uh-huh.
started this Go Kart project for my daughters, and it's gonna probably be the death of me. So I got Go Kart parts here around the shop too.
That's awesome. I wanted to do it with my daughter. My wife said no because my daughter is a daredevil, and she pushes everything to the limit.
Turn it up to 11 and lock it down.
Pretty much. And it kind of came from, she had there was one of those little pink razor things. At first she was scared of it, and then once she got the hang of it, she was jumping, she was doing stuff. My wife was like, she'll be surprised if she make it to 10. You'll be surprised if she make it to 11.
Well, shoot, I've probably talked on here before. Big mountain biker. I've probably been riding mountain bike for 25 years, and
Oh wow.
my daughters kind of got into it, and it was really funny because one of them got a little bit better bike, and the other one's like, "Well, how come I don't get the cool tires?" Okay, well let's find some cool pro tires for the 20-inch bike. Well, now she's about outgrown that bike, so we gotta get it's never ending, and it's so funny to me how quickly how quickly the kiddos just pick up on this stuff, and I mean, man,
No,
run with it.
I don't know what it is. They just pick up. They seem like they pick it up more than when we were kids. We were just were not to knock her teeth out, jumping off the curb with our bicycles.
Not that I have any injuries from that, of course. I think
But yeah,
I probably went a good 5 or 6 years until this summer, and my dumb ass rode out of a berm, knocked the wind out of me, and hit my head. And I'm laying there looking like, of course, I went out to visit the nice guys at 6XD, and I had my bike. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go take a bike ride. We're yeah, fit up, and did this, and back killed myself. So anyway, but
So when
hey,
I was I didn't know, I was stationed in San Antonio for a while, and a mountain bike. I had a 29er, and they had the hill country, and I always clipped in because I believe clipping in helps me go up the hill. And was going around this curve, and it was like a ravine, and like I don't know what happened, and I fell over, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna fall about 50 feet to my death. But actually, being clipped in kind of helped me because I didn't unclip out of the bike like it was supposed to when I fell off of it. So
no, and I love the theory of being clipped in, and it totally helps because you can pull up and push down.
Yep.
I can never get out of them. My clipless pedal experience ended because on Halloween evening, I was taking a bike ride, coming up the street, and there's a whole bunch of trick-or-treaters walking in front of me. So I pull up on my bike and I stop, and I can't get out, and I just right over in front of all the kids and the parents. It was great. So at that point, I said, yeah, no, I gotta stay. But now I have flat pedals. They're about the size of my face, so But anyway. Yep. Well, hey man, I really appreciate you doing the video for us.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'll do some more install videos, and I'll send you the clip, and I'll also put it on my YouTube as well. And hopefully, what you guys don't know, in the near future, you may be able to get a what's it called again? The guys in Australia, the sequential shift.
Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on that one. If you're listening, S1, we're trying to help you out.
Right. But I look forward to you trying that different thing. And I said, great product. Love the the clutch. I'm glad you work with me, family guy like myself, and we meet up and have fun, and we'll see what the clutch is gonna do this race season, and you guys get videos. Stay tuned, and I give you guys feedback and everything like that. Everyone always asks me what clutch I'm running, so I think you guys are the best in the game. And I like the small knit feel of it, to where if I have a problem, I could text you at 9 o'clock at night, say, hey, I'm under the car and this isn't doing this. And you'd be like, hey, did you try this? And then you're like, okay. It's just the small company, small American company, the family feel of it that I really like about Mantic as well. And I'm glad to be part of the Mantic team and family. And I think we're going to do great things for 2021 and beyond.
Let's hope, brother. Let's hope. We're, like I said, we're thrilled to have you on board. As I've said before, we're a small company, but we're looking to build customers and retain customers for life. We do rebuilds, we do upgrades, and we try to do the little extra things that make it easier for you guys, and hopefully give you the service that you expect for a product of our caliber. So love it, brother. Keep in touch, and hey, maybe we'll do this in a couple months, see how it's working out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man.
Have a good one. All right. Peace.